What's going on YouTube? It's Average Joe. Now I figured I'd put together a nice video for beginners showing how my strategy will work for you. Now I'm going to outline some stocks that I would currently buy. I currently own all of these stocks, but I suggest going out there and researching a good 15 to 20 stocks. Read their earnings report, understand how the company makes its money. Now out of this, you'll probably buy at best half of the stocks you research. Make sure you diversify between monthly and quarterly dividends and have at least one growth stock. After my research, I picked 7 stocks, and during this I'm going to simulate $10 a week getting put into the account to really have somebody on a minimal budget. Now, first stock is my growth stock, which is Snapchat. I believe in Snapchat because I think they have a competitive advantage over other social media platforms. When you buy an ad on Snapchat, you're directly targeting millennials, which no other social media does. And right now, Q1 reports, if you read that, year-on-year growth of over 200%, that's fantastic growth. The company's currently not profitable, and it may never be profitable, but I think eventually it will be, because right now only 7% of advertisers advertise on Snapchat. And obviously I believe that number will grow. My target price would be $18. I wouldn't spend too much over $18 on this stock. Now both Goldman Sachs and Credit Suisse have buy ratings on it of around $27. So clearly Goldman Sachs and Credit Suisse are fairly bullish on Snapchat. My next stock would be, look at a telecom stock. I picked Verizon for this video, but AT&T, Sprint, T-Mobile, whichever one you prefer. I like Verizon though. I see here we got $46.60. Verizon has a PE ratio of about 15.5. It's a great dividend yield of 4.28, which is $2.31 paid quarterly. They have 10 consecutive years of increases. And if you don't know Verizon, they offer home phone, cell phone, cable. They just bought the US portion of Yahoo. And if you're planning on doing this quickly, they have an ex-dividend day coming up on July 6th. My next stock is GE. This is an industrial conglomerate. I think GE has been unfairly beaten down, and it forced Jeff Immelt, the CEO, to step down. Now right now it's about 15% off its 52-week high, so it's in my opinion a fairly good value. 26.5 PE ratio, 2.94 dividend yield. They pay $96 per share paid quarterly. It's a payout ratio of about 58%. The ex-dividend date is June 15th, so I just made it in time. And pretty much we're going to see, this is a bet that John Flannery, the new CEO, will be able to really turn GE around and really get it to where it needs to be. Now, my next pick is a little controversial, but for somebody that's just starting out, Ford is actually fantastic. People are really down on Ford, but people need to keep in mind that Ford trucks are the best-selling trucks over the last 40 years, and I don't really expect that to change. Anywhere you go, you see a million Ford trucks. The F-150 is one of the best trucks that you can buy. Right now, I would try and get under $11.15. I wouldn't go too crazy and dump too much capital into this stock, because it is still, automotives are fairly volatile, and they're usually one of the first stocks to take a hit when there's a recession, when a recession comes. Now you see here PE ratio of 12, which is phenomenal. Dividend yield of 4.95%, and the payout ratio is about 38.2%. So there's plenty of room for this to grow and really take off, if depending upon how the automotive industry does. So I would definitely own, a few shares of Ford. Next is going to be the only ETF in this. And you need at least one ETF when you're starting out, because you really need a little bit of diversity. And I chose the PowerShares S&P 500 High Dividend Low Volatility Fund. They pay a monthly dividend. The yield is about 2.96%. $1.19 paid monthly. This here is really one of my favorite ETFs. I've talked about this in a couple of videos, and I think it's one of the better ETFs, especially for the price point, and it's a monthly dividend, and it's got a nice history. My next is an REIT, which also pays monthly dividends. Stag Industrial. Dividend yield of about 5.8%. $1.40 paid monthly. And you see the PE ratio is crazy, but I think that's okay based on the monthly dividend being fantastic and the fact that there is so much room for this to grow. Now, just in case you don't know, Stag focuses on acquisition and operation of single-tenant industrial properties. And they sign long-term leases, so their income is fairly predictable. And that's why I like REITs. And last but not least, BCX, or the BlackRock's Resources and Commodities Strategy Trust. Right now it's low. As you see, it's pretty beaten down from when I bought it. Dividend yield of 2.69%, which is 62 cents paid monthly. They mainly focus in energy, mining, and agriculture. This is one of the first stocks I bought, and it's a personal favorite of mine. They pay consistently, and I highly recommend it. I think it's fantastic. Now, right now, out of the $200 I had, I spent $180.55, leaving me with about $19.45 in my account. Every week, I'm going to add $10, and maybe on a monthly basis, I'll show you where I'm putting my money and what new stock I might add. It's all going to depend on where the value buy is. All right. I hope this video is informative. Please like, share, and subscribe. You want to keep watching this series. Let's see if we can make you guys some money.